Here's a funny story. Speaking of budget smartphones, $349, $399. What excuse does Tom Brady have for using a 6-year-old iPhone? See, he could pick up he can even pick up an iPhone SE and be ahead of the game. He could pick up, if he's willing to switch platforms, he could pick up one of these new Pixels, and he has no excuse. Well, when you're making $25 million a year, I don't even think you need to save the $700 to go move away from even a flagship. But people are reading into this. It's kind of an interesting little thing to think about. How can you have a guy making this kind of money that has no interest in upgrading his smartphone? What does it say about us? Who's weird? Is he weird or are we weird? Because you got $50 in the bank account and you're doing the payment plan on the upgraded flagship because you got to have the hottest.
Well, we're definitely weird.
Okay, so we're the weird ones. But people on social media thought he was weird anyways because they hit him up after they saw the post. So he put a post, I guess it was on his Instagram story, and in it shows his dash. It looks like, by the way, he drives a Ford F-150 because I'm familiar with this dash. But it shows, he's showing how hot it is out. He doesn't want to talk about which phone he's using. He's showing that it's 99 degrees out and a couple of flames. He's just enjoying the sunlight. But then below there, you see, it says Tom Brady's iPhone 6 Plus because this interface shows you which phone you have connected when you're on the audio display. And when people saw that, they went bananas. What is this guy doing using an iPhone 6 Plus? That's an old phone, Will. That's a 6-year-old iPhone. Do you even remember this iPhone?
Yeah.
You know how we go on there and we talk about how a ton of people upgraded to the SE and they were holding on to those old phones? I didn't know we were talking about Tom Brady. I don't know. I thought that it would be a person who was saving their dollars, a person who wasn't making $25 million a year. But it turns out even Tom Brady is not immune. Now, here's the next piece to the conspiracy here. By the way, if you're an international viewer, Tom Brady's the most famous NFL quarterback. He makes a tremendous amount of money. Just to get that out of the way. Here's the twist for you, Will.
Okay.
Because I got to bring a twist. Brady and the Patriots, they were under investigation over activities with the deflating of the footballs or whatever. I don't know what's alleged and Deflate Gate, or it's had a bunch of different names, but they were being, fans and even the NFL looked into it. There was an open investigation into whether or not they were tampering with the equipment, with the footballs, and other things as well. And so they actually, Brady, along with other Patriots, had to be interviewed, and they were asked questions. And when he was asked to testify, he stated that he would destroy or give his assistant to destroy his cell phone and SIM cards every time he gets a new cell phone. Right? Because they were asking for the records. They wanted to know if it had ever been talked about. They wanted to see the old cell phone. He said, nah, those old cell phones get destroyed. Making it sound as though new cell phones were being swapped in and out on a frequent basis. Yeah, every 8 months. He previously claimed to destroy his cell phones every 8 months. Well, definitely not in this case. You see that, Will. So either, I don't know, I'm just saying. Now, to be clear, if there was anything nefarious going on, I don't think he would have made light of it because he came back on Twitter and made a joke about it. He said, thank you for the birthday wishes. Might treat myself to a new iPhone this year. So he made light of it and made a joke about it. So who knows? Maybe he's got more than one phone. Maybe he keeps that phone in the truck because it's got a bunch of tunes on it. Or there's so many reasons that this could possibly be. Some people just have some keepsakes on a particular phone and they don't want to back it up or transfer it over. They just hang on to an old phone.
Yeah, maybe that's just his car phone.
Exactly. There's a lot of explanations here, but if he was a guy still using it, the battery life would have to be horrendous on there. Or
unless it's always plugged in.
But also imagine this. Imagine if Tom Brady went to the Genius Bar and got a battery replacement instead of getting a new phone. He was like, you know what? This phone, there's nothing wrong with it. $25 million a year. And he says, you know what? This phone is nothing wrong with it. I'm going to replace the battery. Incredible to think about. People do crazy things. We'll never know who the crazy one is, if it's us or if it's him. But I couldn't imagine day-to-day life on a 6S.
It'll be tough.
But you know what? I would live. And so would you. We would live. We would survive. And important to note, shout out to Apple here. Apple fans love to say it. Software updates. He can get some
Still get
fresh
'em? Yeah.
some fresh iOS. If he was on Android, a 6-year-old Android phone, he'd be on some old,
Fragmentation.
he'd be on some old software, likely.
Yeah.